Hi. If you have clicked on this video, I have set the intention that this finds you exactly when you need to hear it, all right? For those who don't know me, my name is Monroe Eartha, and I'm reporting to you 66 days sober, and I am sharing the life lessons I'm learning in real time. It's been a minute, hasn't it, since my last video? It's been about 10 days or so. And that was because I needed to take time to recenter myself. The hermit mode is not a time that only happens once in your life. You may find yourself retreating back into hermit mode more frequently than you have in the past, and that's okay. Because I know that I am no longer afraid to be alone, because when I am alone, I'm really all one. I am one with the universe. I am one with my ancestors. I am one with my highest self. And that is the time when the messages come through. And sometimes we just need to recharge. An introvert will say they are recharging their social battery, right? And that's exactly what I needed to do. I needed to realign my chakras. I needed to ground my energy and really listen to what it was that I wanted at this point in time in my life. And it's funny because the universe will tell you when a change needs to happen. I was having the most interesting dream last night, and I haven't fully pieced together the message that I was downloading in this dream, but something I've recently learned about myself is that I'm clairaudient, right? And so not only do I get messages from the universe, I get messages from spirits, I get messages from my ancestors, and I get messages from my internal self. I was explaining to someone recently that my body will give me warning signs when I'm around somebody with an energy that is not meant to benefit me, right? When somebody has ulterior motives, I can sense that. And if you're watching this video, you sense it as well. Your body will set off warning signs, and when you are in tune with your body, when you accept all pieces of yourself, you finally can open that line of communication from the body to the mind, and you are able to put together, wait, this person is smiling in my face and they're saying these nice words, but there's something behind the eyes that is not meant to benefit you. And I don't want to get too dark, but there's certain criminals that when people find out their heinous crimes that they've done, the neighbors will say, wow, but they were just so nice. I had no idea they were so nice. Not everyone who is nice to you has your best interests in heart. And it is important for you to have discernment of true kindness and people who are just nice for the show of it. There are people who wear masks and they will try and play this character until the character is no longer needed for them to play, and then when it's too late, that's when their true colors come out. But you're already so dependent upon this person, right? You've already been lured into the trap, and you need to be aware that there are energy vampires out there and people who will try to dim your light, and it is important for you to know before it is too late. And how do you know that? How do you get so connected with your own spirit that you can tell when somebody is putting off a bad energy towards your energy? When somebody is an opposing force, basically, so to speak. When it's a negative meets a negative. It's like the battery's not charging, it's flipped the wrong way. And you need to be able to tell that in people. And how you do this, I often talk about shadow work, but what is shadow work? Shadow work is through meditation, accepting all parts of yourself. There is a quote by Carl Jung that goes, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate." That is such a powerful quote that's been coming up very frequently in this book I've been reading called The Existential Kink. And I highly recommend the book if you are in a place where you are ready to start a new chapter and to fully heal and accept all darkest parts of yourselves. Now, I will give a warning. If you are in a rough situation right now, a situation that is very clearly not by your own design, I don't recommend reading this book at this point in time of your life. It's definitely a book meant to be read when you were already in the process of healing, when you were already in an open state of mind where you are ready to do this inner work, where you have the freedom and space to do this inner work on yourself. I'm very aware that sometimes life puts us in circumstances where we cannot do this existential work on ourselves. It's the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You got to keep yourself fed. You got to put a roof over your head. You have to have a safe space. You have to fulfill your basic needs first. You need safety and you need sustenance first and foremost before you can start and work on the internal and work on the spiritual. So if you are not in a place where you have those things available, this book is not for you at this time. But when you do reach a point in your life when you can do the internal work, please read that book, because it has been opening up so many things for me and really confirming a lot of the beliefs I was already starting to have through my own meditation and my own shadow work. And what is the shadow, right? The shadow are the darkest parts of yourself that are in the unconscious. It's the id to the ego. The ego is the person that we think we should be, right? The person that society has told us, like, oh no, this is the right way. Be like, oh, don't wear your hair like that, wear your hair like this. Oh, don't say those things, you should say this thing. And the shadow is the parts of yourself that you have been too afraid to confront. It is the depression. It is the intrusive thoughts, so to speak. Those intrusive thoughts are still your thoughts. They live within a back corner of your mind. And what happens when you finally confront the shadow, confront the darkest parts of yourself, they no longer have power over you because you have accepted yourself in all forms. And once you have accepted yourself in all forms, that is when you meet your true self, your whole self. And I promise you, once you can accept your whole self and move through this world unapologetically, life gets so much easier, y'all. And even today was such a funny day for me. And I knew Spirit was telling me, girl, turn on that camera and record because you got a message to share. I went into work today and I had a good morning, right? I even got myself a smoothie before work because something in me yesterday was like, girl, you need some more fruit in your diet. You need to get them antioxidants. And I was like, all right, yes, Spirit, I'm going to give me my smoothie. And also I got a juicer as well. But I was like, all right, I'm going to go into work. It's going to be a good day. I always give myself a pep talk before going into work. I just flip down my little car mirror and I'm just talking to myself, looking at myself, being like, girl, you are a divine being of love, light, and warmth. You're going to smile today. You're going to make other people smile and it's going to be beautiful. You're going to laugh and it's going to be a good day. Got to set the intentions right. I meditated. I drank my tea. I prayed to my ancestors. Like, it was a good start to my day. I clock into work. There was a mouse. There was a mouse. It's something about me. I am not good with rodents. It's something I'm working through. And I'm still doing the inner work, right? Of being like, why does my body react in such a fearful way at the sight of a mouse or a rat? Because logically, I know I'm bigger than it, right? This thing does not have power to kill me. So why do I feel like it will? But even if it's a dead mouse, like one time I was frozen in fear in my grandma's garage because there was a dead mouse that I didn't see when I walked in, but then I saw it on my way out and I could not exit the garage. My mom had to come get the mouse. I was not able to leave until the mouse was not in the garage with me. It's irrational. It's irrational. It's an irrational fear. And how many of us have these irrational fears that dictate our lives? Thankfully, my boss understood that I could not work until the mouse was caught. Because they didn't want me screaming in front of the customers. I'm in the service industry, so I was like, I know they didn't want me screaming in front of the customers, and I did scream and I did embarrass myself a little bit. But honestly, I wasn't really embarrassed because my fear is valid. I'm valid in those emotions, right? There's something I still haven't connected with that I need to connect with in myself to, work past this. And that's something I'm going to work through in meditation later today because I just found it so funny. But I also think it happened for a reason. It happened right before we opened. And I took that as a sign that Spirit was telling me, hey, you've been procrastinating on posting another video. You've been procrastinating on other things, and you need to stop doing that, you know? And so while my responsibility of going to work is what got me out of the house, it was really just the universe working in its divine way and telling me, hey, there are other things that you need to get done today. And luckily, like I said, my boss completely understood my reaction. He said that they were calling pest control, and that he was going to catch the mouse. And then, so he said I could take the day and just come in for my next shift. And by my next shift, the situation will be handled. And you know what? I was just so grateful for that. And while, yes, I missed the day of pay, that's not ideal. Money is not everything, and I am not tied to these monetary values, That's not my work that I'm doing here. I'm doing the work in the spiritual, And I know I had a message to share today, and that was that. And all that to say is that things happen in these mysterious ways. And I felt inspired to share that with you today, but also to give a little bit more detail about what shadow work is. And like I said, it starts with you. And you need to be able to look within to understand why we operate in the way that we do. And like I said, I saw the mouse, and had I saw that mouse a couple months ago, before I started doing all this internal work, it would have ruined my whole day. I would have been like, oh my goodness, they're going to fire me. I cannot work there anymore. They got mouse, they got mice. I can't work there no more, but I can. The situation's going to be handled. And I just needed to take the day, take a beat to focus on my other responsibilities. And the thing is, the job that I'm working right now, I know is temporary. So I don't need to feel the guilt of taking this day for me to focus on the things that make my soul feel whole, sharing these life lessons I'm learning in real time with y'all, working on my novel that I've been making great progress with. Like, I haven't been updating y'all, but I've been making great progress in my own creative adventures, and I'm so excited to share them with the world once they're finished. And that is what I needed to focus on today. And honey, I'm fine with that. So, Hank and I are going to do some card readings for y'all, alrighty? Let's get into it. Because like I said, when I get these messages from the universe, they are never just for me. I know they are for the collective. We are in this together. We are all in this together. High School Musical, baby. Alrighty. Let's get into these cards. I'm going to start off with the Oracle cards, and then I'll do the Tarot. Y'all, it was so funny. Like, you really should have seen it. I told my coworker thought that I was going to stay, and I was like, no, baby, I just clocked out. He was like, clock back in. I was like, no, thank you. I'm not going to. Not today. Sometimes when the energy's not right, you just got to get up and leave, baby. You got to go to your safe space. And that's what I did. And I don't feel bad about it. No, I do not. I do not feel bad about it. Because what would I? What is it to feel bad about? Like, I know it's an irrational fear. So already, like, the fear is not leading me because I know it's irrational, right? It doesn't have complete control over me. But also, the way my body was reacting, I knew that I wasn't meant to be there today, And that's all right. Spirit just needed me to get up at the house to get some fresh air and, get myself a smoothie, I guess. And then come back in and clock back in and talk to you lovely people. That's what was meant for me today. That's what was meant for me today. Oh my goodness. All right. First card. We have New Beginnings. This fairy godmother heralds the joyous news of a new baby or the birth of a cherished idea. Protect and nurture your ideas as you would a baby. For me, I feel like this is talking about the novel I'm writing. And for you, this could mean a literal baby, or this could mean a creative idea that you have on your own side. I feel as though this is a creative collective Those are usually the people I gravitate towards, and that's definitely the energy I gravitate towards as well. And so, cherish your ideas and protect them like it's a baby. And when I started writing my book, when I first got the idea to write my book, I actually had a vivid dream that, like, I had a baby in the dream, but then, this would never happen in real life, by the way, but like, I had just like left the baby with like a family member, and then I later found out that that family member did not have the baby, and the baby actually never left the house. And then the baby, like, passed away of neglect. It was in the dream. It was in the dream. I don't have any kids. I have not birthed any babies. And I would never do this in real life. I need to stress that. It's just a very vivid dream. But I took that to mean as though if I leave my creative ideas in the hands of somebody else, they are not going to treat it with the care that I would have treated it with. And the idea will die if you do not give it the love that you want to give it directly. It starts with you. You are in charge of your own ideas. They came from your mind, and you need to nurture that as if you would a child, and not put faith in others to do that for you. You need to take those steps. You need to take those risks. You need to follow your own intuition and take care of your idea baby. It got really dark with that dream, but like, it was such a vivid dream, and I'm sorry if I like traumatized anybody with that. But yeah, it was a very dark, vivid dream. But what I took from that is that I need to take charge in my own creative adventures. Inspiration. Be prepared, as you'll soon receive a visit from the Fairy of Inspiration. Come dusk or dawn, she can call at any time. Alrighty. So that goes hand in hand with like the idea. So like, you're going to be inspired to create. And when you are inspired, heed the call. Do not run from it. You need to nurture your ideas as you would a child. And you need to take them seriously. Because you have the power to make something from nothing. And that is magic. But it is also reality. You have a gift. So use it. Don't let it fizzle out. Don't let it go neglected. Magical gateway. It takes courage and trust to venture into the unknown, yet this is where the greatest rewards are. It's time to step boldly forward without looking back. Like I said, you need to take those risks. You need to take action. You have agency to step forward into your life, and you have the power to make your own destiny. I literally just said that to somebody this morning. I was like, you have the power to change your life. It starts with you. And he don't even know that, like, I have this channel. Like, I don't tell people in my life about my channel. I think a couple people have found it already, but I don't promote it. I think I have one video on my Instagram saying that I have a channel for people who are looking for spiritual guidance or, card readings, but I don't promote it being like, hey, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is going to find people when they need to hear it. And so if you're watching this video, it's for you, babes. And if you don't feel connected for you, maybe it's just not for you at this time, but I did manifest that this finds the right people at the right time. So it may be a message that you are not ready to hear yet, but you needed to hear it. You need to take action in your life. You need to take the lead on your creative ideas because they are your creative ideas. You have the creativity. You need to see this project all the way through. You do. You really do. Alrighty, we're getting into the tarot cards now. You have the power. It was like jumped out. Ooh, okay. A lot of tarot we got today. Let me put these up. Just rearrange these oracle cards first for a second. Alrighty, so the first one we got was the Queen of Jars, which is the Queen of Cups. Right here. But it was actually came out in reverse. So, to me that means that there is almost like a maternal energy that is very self-fulfilling in your life, And I think for me, like, this kind of goes hand in hand with that dream I mentioned, where like I gave the baby, which symbolized an idea, to a family member, but they really didn't have my best intentions in heart. And that was what I said. I was like, you have to have discernment, and you need to realize that there are some people in your life trying to be a mentor, but they are really wearing a mask, and they do not have your best interests at heart. They want you to stay dim. They want your light to be dimmed, and they just want you to complement them in a way. And you need to find your own agency and basically become your own maternal figure, your own guide, and fill your own cup. That's what this is saying. Alrighty. It's also saying, don't be like them. Don't be like them, all right? Don't be like them. Lead with abundance, lead with kindness, in authenticity, kindness. Don't wear a mask like everyone else. Be your authentic self. And don't be self-fulfilling. Ooh, we also have King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles in the reverse here. To be honest with y'all, I don't remember exactly what this card means. So we're going to hold on to that because I'm going to have to look in the book for what that one means. I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I said I memorized what a lot of these cards mean, but I did not memorize all of them. And that's my business. That is my business. Are all these in the reverse? We got 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. And she's literally filling up like what looks to be like milk. But she's standing outside and people are like talking on the inside, like you're outside the party. And your rewards are like hanging right there. You could just take those pentacles, take those coins, and like go live the life you want to live. But she looks very like sad. Like if you look at her face, like she looks really sad and like she's not enjoying the party. But there's people inside living it up, and she's outside, just focusing on the work. But like you could take those coins, babe. You could take those pentacles, and you literally could write your own destiny. Alrighty. Yeah, I think all these cards are in reverse. Ooh, the honeymoon in reverse. Interesting. So this card is like about lovers and stuff, but they're in the grass and it's in the reverse. So I think until you take control of your own destiny, like you won't really find that love that you're craving until you take control of your destiny. And see, like, they're beautifully, like, in the grass under this beautiful big tree. The bees are buzzing around them. But it was in the reverse. And so it's saying, like, there are some things you got to do before you can get this honeymoon, this happy ending, You got to do the work inside. And almost make a union with your shadow self. You got to have the ego meet the id and become union to be whole. But you can't do that until you do the inner work. Yeah, all these cards are in reverse. I think they all like flipped. You've got 2 of Swords. 2 of Swords. So she's blindfolded, but she's like practicing with these swords, and there's like all these flowers around her. And so I see her as like being very strong, honestly, but this was in the reverse. So you've got your weapons in hand. But you've got a blindfold on, so you don't even know what to do with your weapons, but you have them. You have all the tools you need, and you are not choosing to see what's right in front of you, see the beautiful flowers in front of you, and see that you have these swords in your hand. Like, you are prepared to fight. But you got to look at where you're swinging them, babes. You got to look at where you're swinging your swords. You got to pay attention to what's in front of you. 6 of Pentacles. So these are, like, on a shelf with, like, all of this, like, clutter almost. And it's, like, this is, like, right at home, right? And this was also in the reverse as well. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, I don't really know what this card means either. We are working it out in real time. Like I said, when I do these videos, I'm not coming at it from expert level. I'm just being honest about my interpretation of these cards. So we're going to revisit the King of Pentacles. We're going to revisit the 6 of Pentacles as well. Alrighty. We also have the 10 of Wands. And what's interesting about this is like these wands are like right in like behind this beekeeper along with this big old bee, but they're facing the other direction. They don't even realize that this big old idea is going away, and the wands are stowed away right behind them. If you would just turn around, you realize you have the power to make this magic. You can capture this idea. You can make this idea flourish and grow, but you're, and it's the juicy. Look at the legs on that bee. Look at the legs on that bee. That bee is pollinating, honey. But it's right behind you and it's getting away from you. It's getting away from you, and I think that's symbolizing the idea, like it can go away from you if you don't pay attention. The magician. The magician. Yeah, but the magician in reverse. You are the magician. You have the magic, but it's in reverse. Like, all of these cards are in the reverse, and I feel like that's just confirmation that, yeah, until you do the work, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. But literally, you have all the tools. You have the magic. You have the power. This is what the card looks like upright, but it came out in reverse. You have the power. You are the magician. It's you. You are the one. And last but not least, we have Six of Swords. Yeah, Six of Swords in the reverse. So it's literally all these swords are into the ground, and there's a wreath that almost like symbolizes death in my mind, like almost like a death wreath. But there is a ship that is traveling to new horizons. And so you have a journey that you can be going on, but until you accept that and accept that, like, this is not the final chapter of your life, you will not realize that you've left your tools behind, Because life is going to keep on lifing, and you go and travel all these journeys. But the question is, will you take your tools with you? And will you use those tools? That's the reading I'm getting from this so far. Let me confirm those two cards I wasn't so sure about. And also, don't mind that creaking, y'all. You know it's my chair. Don't play. Okay. So yeah, the first one we had was King of Pentacles. Where the pentacles at? Where they at? Where they at, dude? Where they at? All right, here they go. Was I right about the... Ooh, okay. So I just landed on the page of the Eight of Pentacles, which is like that girl that I had talked about who was outside. But yeah, it says, for the reverse card, it says, you have sacrificed too much for the sake of your work, and you are missing out on the beautiful things in your life that you may have been taken for granted. Ask yourself why you have become a workaholic. How does it benefit you? There is more to life than earning of money, right? That's exactly what I said. That is exactly what I said. Like I said, Spirit was like, girl, I know you clocked into work, but you need to clock back out because you need to clock in to the real work that you need to be doing spiritually. Ooh, confirmation. See, like I said, I be knowing these cards, man. I be knowing these cards. I'm learning them. Alrighty. So yeah, we've got King of Pentacles. So King of Pentacles in the reversed. This is an individual who overdoes everything. They overindulge, they overspend, they have a tendency to debt and go from one self-induced crisis to another. They love things, but will collect them for face value alone. They may not ever use them. They can be uncouth and insensitive to the needs of others. Ooh. Somebody needed to hear this, y'all. Somebody needed to hear this. So yeah, it's like, take stock of the things in your life and keep only what's benefiting you, honestly. Like, don't get so caught up on like the name brands and stuff, what's really healing your soul and what makes you feel whole. Those are the things you need to focus on. Just confirmation, Spirit. Confirmation of the reading I was already given. Alrighty. And now we're back to the Six of Pentacles. So Six of Pentacles, like I said, it's the ones that were like on those shelves. The Six of Pentacles in the reverse. The situation is blighted by a lack of generosity, where status and hierarchy are used as tools to dominate rather than to share the wealth of kindness. So, yeah. Not only should you be kind to yourself, but you should be kind to others as well. Alrighty? Thank you, Spirit, for confirming the reading that I felt I was on the right track about. Like I said, I may have not had the exact full message the whole time, but we were definitely in the right ballpark. And so I know this reading not only helped myself, but I know it helped all of you. We are in the age of the new moon. And thank you so much for being along on this ride for me. As I always say, it starts with you. You are never alone. I'm rooting for you, the universe is rooting for you, and your higher self is rooting for you as well. Alrighty? Take stock of what's around you. Nurture your ideas. And lead with kindness. And be aware of those who are wearing masks. Because not everybody has your best interest at heart. And it's important to know which people are which. Alright? But always lead with kindness, even to those who don't have your best interest at heart. You don't need to keep their energy in your life. You don't need to give them your energy. But lead with kindness, because that energy is going to come back to you tenfold. You receive what you give. And so, keep leading with kindness, keep leading with love, y'all. Until next time.